If you woke up one day in a land where no one hurries yet everyone smiles, where the sound of waves replaces the noise of traffic and the sunrise doesn't feel rushed, you step outside barefoot on cool tiles and smell roasted coffee drifting from a tiny cafe down the street. Your rent for the entire month less than what you used to pay for a single night in New York. Here people don't talk about stress or status. They talk about the tide, the weather, and what kind of fruit's in season. Across the world, a quiet revolution is happening. People are walking away from expensive cities, from endless bills, from that hamster wheel of work, more to live less. They're trading chaos for calm, choosing sunlight over skyscrapers, and finding freedom in places most of the world still overlooks. These aren't dreamers, they're doers. Retirees, digital nomads, and young families all searching for something real. And in 2026, 5 countries are standing out, places so welcoming, so affordable, and so breathtaking that once you see them, you'll wonder why you ever stayed where you are. Today on Discover Go, Globe Places Top 10 will uncover those hidden corners of the planet where living well doesn't mean spending much, where visa rules are simple, and every sunrise feels like a fresh start. Stick around until the end, because the final country might just be the place you'll one day call home. 5. Mexico. The new retirement kingdom now. Come with me to a country where money means little, but joy is endless. Imagine sipping coffee on a rooftop in Mérida, where the first rays of sunlight turn the colonial walls into liquid gold and neighbors greet you like family. The city wakes up slowly, the scent of fresh tortillas drifts through the narrow streets, roosters crow in the distance, and the air hums with music and laughter. Here, life moves to a rhythm that feels human again. Mexico has quietly become the new retirement kingdom of the Americas, a country where modern comfort meets old-world charm. In cities like Mérida, San Miguel de Allende, and along the calm shores of Lake Chapala, expats are finding what they lost back home: warmth, safety, and community. A one-bedroom apartment here costs just $400 to $600 a month, and breakfast from a street cart, maybe chilaquiles or tacos al pastor, only $1. You can live comfortably on about $1,200 a month, with room to treat yourself to weekend trips, massages, or rooftop dinners under the stars. Healthcare. It's surprisingly advanced. A private clinic visit runs between $25 and $40, and many doctors speak fluent English. Pharmacies are everywhere, and prescription costs are a fraction of what you'd pay in the US. For retirees, the process is simple. Mexico's temporary resident visa lets you stay long-term with proof of a $200 to $600 monthly income or $43,000 in savings. Once you settle, renewals are easy, and many expats eventually upgrade to permanent residency. But beyond the numbers, Mexico's magic is in its soul. It's in the way locals wave at you every morning in the festivals that turn entire towns into seas of candles and marigolds, in the food that tastes like it's cooked with memory itself. Walk through a mercado and you'll feel it color rhythm life in every direction. So why Mexico? Because it's close to home, but feels a world away in warmth, color, and cost. A place where your dollar stretches, your heart opens, and every day feels like the start of something new. 4. Philippines. Paradise that speaks English. Sometimes all you need to do is close your eyes. The world you've dreamed of is still out there. You're island hopping between turquoise bays, sunlight bouncing off the water like scattered diamonds. The locals call you Kuya Big Brother even if you've just met 5 minutes ago. Everyone speaks English with a smile, and somehow even strangers feel like old friends. In the Philippines, kindness isn't a gesture, it's a lifestyle. Here, life flows slower like the rhythm of the waves. Imagine waking up in a seaside apartment in Dumaguete, where rent costs between $250 and $400 a month. Breakfast by the shore is a steaming plate of garlic rice and mango for $2. and the entire month's expenses rarely go beyond $1-200. You can spend your mornings swimming with whale sharks in Cebu, afternoons working remotely from a beach cafe, and evenings singing karaoke with neighbors who insist you join even if you can't carry a tune. And that's what makes this country different. The Philippines has mastered the art of community. It's nearly impossible to feel alone here. People talk to you, laugh with you, check on you. They'll invite you to birthdays, family barbecues, and town fiestas, even if you just arrived yesterday. Many expats say the same thing. This place feels alive, and so do I. Healthcare is another comfort. Private clinics in Manila and Cebu are modern and affordable. A consultation costs just $30 to $50, and doctors are internationally trained. If you're planning to stay long-term, the Special Resident Retiree Visa (SRRV) is one of Asia's most flexible options. With a $20 or $1,000 deposit, which you can eventually get back, and being over 35 years old, you can stay indefinitely. The visa has several programs: Classic Smile, and more, catering to retirees, investors, and even digital nomads. It's as welcoming as the people themselves. But beyond the numbers and paperwork, there's something deeper about the Philippines. It's in the way a fisherman waves at you from his boat, in the laughter echoing from a neighborhood karaoke night, in the scent of grilled seafood drifting through the evening air. This is not just paradise, it's home with an ocean view. So why the Philippines? Because sometimes the best place to start over is a place that already feels like home. Georgia, Europe's freedom zone. What if your life began again somewhere no one knows your name but everyone greets you with warmth? A country where Europe shakes hands with Asia, where ancient fortresses rise above cobblestone streets, and the scent of fresh bread and wine drifts through the cool mountain air. In Georgia, wine is cheaper than water, and foreigners can stay for an entire year. No visa, no hassle, no hidden catch. This is the land where freedom still feels real. Walk through Tbilisi's old town, and you'll feel it instantly, that perfect blend of old and new. Bright murals color the walls of 19th-century houses, cafes buzz with digital nomads and students, and overhead, the modern glass bridge of peace glows at night like a ribbon of light over the Kura River. You can rent a cozy one-bedroom apartment here for $300 to $500, enjoy a full dinner with wine for just $10, and live comfortably on $900 to $100 a month. In Batumi on the Black Sea coast, life slows down even more. Mornings begin with the sound of waves, afternoons with a stroll along the palm-lined promenade, and evenings with a glass of Saparavi wine and a sunset that turns the sky into molten gold. The locals are kind but straightforward. They don't try to impress you. They simply welcome you. For expats and freelancers, Georgia feels almost too good to be true. There's no endless paperwork, no 90-day visa runs. Americans and citizens of many countries can stay up to 365 days visa-free. And if you decide to work remotely, the digital nomad visa offers one of the lowest taxes in the world, just 1%. It's bureaucracy at its simplest, and that simplicity is exactly why people fall in love with this place. Healthcare is another pleasant surprise. Private clinics are modern, English-friendly, and affordable consultations usually cost $25 to $35, and quality rivals Western Europe. Add fast Wi-Fi, thriving cafe culture, and the safety of walking home at midnight, and you start to understand why so many nomads end up staying far longer than planned. But the real charm of Georgia isn't just its low cost, it's the feeling of space. Wide skies, snow-dusted peaks of the Caucasus, and that intoxicating sense that you can breathe freely here, literally and figuratively. It's a country that rewards simplicity, creativity, and courage to start fresh. So why Georgia? Because freedom shouldn't be a luxury, and in this little corner between Europe and Asia, it isn't. 2. Morocco, Africa's most elegant escape. Have you ever dreamed of a life without pressure? Just sun and sea breeze waking up in a riad in Marrakesh, sunlight filtering through carved wooden shutters, the scent of orange blossoms drifting in from the courtyard, and the soft call to prayer echoing through rose-colored walls. You pour yourself a cup of mint tea and step out to a terrace that looks like it was painted by time itself. This is Morocco, a country that feels both ancient and effortlessly elegant. Here, life unfolds in color and calm. You can rent a charming one-bedroom apartment for $350 to $500 a month, sip sweet mint tea in a cafe for 50 cents, and live comfortably on around $1,000 to $1,200 a month. Walk through the Medina of Marrakesh, and you'll see a kaleidoscope of textures, carpets drying under the sun, brass lanterns catching the light, and merchants calling out with smiles rather than pressure. The air is alive with the rhythm of bargaining laughter and the smell of saffron and cumin. In Tangier, the sea breeze carries whispers of Europe cafes overlooking the Strait of Gibraltar, where Africa and Europe nearly touch. Writers like Paul Bowles and artists from Paris once came here chasing inspiration, and many never left. In Essaouira, the Atlantic wind hums through narrow alleys lined with blue doors, and seagulls circle the ramparts like sentinels of serenity. Every city has its own pulse, but all share that same Moroccan grace, elegant, patient, and deeply human. Healthcare here is far better than many imagine. In Casablanca and Rabat, private hospitals are modern English-speaking and cost up to 70% less than in Europe. Doctors trained abroad return home to serve in spotless clinics, and even major procedures are often affordable out of pocket. For long stays, the carte de séjour allows easy extensions beyond the 90-day visa, a simple process compared to European bureaucracy. But Morocco isn't just practical, it's poetic. There's something in the way the desert light shifts over the dunes of the Sahara, or how the blue streets of Chefchaouen glow like a dream at dusk. It's Africa with a European soul, a land where simplicity feels luxurious, and where beauty isn't something you visit, it's something you live in. So why Morocco? Because it offers something rare, timeless beauty, affordable comfort, and a kind of poetic peace that makes you forget the rush of the world beyond its gates. 1. Uruguay, South America's safest secret. Think about this, waking up somewhere far away and feeling completely at peace, sitting by the Atlantic Ocean in Montevideo sipping a warm cup of mate as the morning sun glows over the calm water. The Wi-Fi is fast, the air feels crisp and clean, and for once in your life, everything around you seems balanced. No noise, no chaos, no tension. Just a quiet country that somehow figured out how to live peacefully in a world that's forgotten how. Uruguay isn't flashy. It doesn't shout to be noticed. But that's exactly why people fall in love with it. Here, life feels human again, measured, modest, and deeply content. You can rent a comfortable one-bedroom apartment for $500, $700 a month, buy your weekly groceries for about $150, $200, and live a comfortable middle-class lifestyle on $1,400, $600 per month. Stroll along Montevideo's Rambla Promenade, and you'll see joggers, couples holding hands, and kids on bicycles. No one's rushing anywhere. The ocean breeze carries the scent of salt and grilled beef from a seaside parrilla, and time seems to pause just long enough for you to breathe. In Punta del Este, the rhythm changes: chic cafes, soft sand beaches, and elegant calm. It's the kind of coastal town where wealth whispers instead of boasting. Yet even here, simplicity reigns. People drink mate on park benches, watch sunsets, and talk about family instead of politics. And that's the thing, politics in Uruguay rarely make noise. The country is calm, steady, and quietly progressive. It runs entirely on 100% renewable energy, legalized same-sex marriage long before most of the world, and keeps corruption remarkably low. Healthcare, too, is something to admire. Through the Mutualista system, you pay $70 or $100 a month for full access to private clinics and hospitals. Walk in, get seen, get treated. No surprise bills, no bureaucracy. For retirees, the Pensionado Residency requires around $1,500 per month in income, and after 3 years, you can become a permanent resident. It's stable, predictable, and built for peace of mind. But the true soul of Uruguay lives in its people, calm, polite, and quietly proud. They love football, family, and long Sunday barbecues. They believe in equality and fresh air, and in not making life harder than it needs to be. In a continent known for passion and chaos, Uruguay stands as an exception, a soft-spoken success story surrounded by storms. So why Uruguay? Because peace is the new luxury, and in Uruguay, peace is something you can actually afford. The world is full of beautiful places, but only a few truly feel like home. Maybe for you, it's the quiet rhythm of Uruguay's coast, where peace drifts with the ocean breeze, or the timeless elegance of Morocco glowing in the golden light of sunset. Perhaps it's Georgia, where mountains meet freedom, and life feels refreshingly simple. Or maybe the laughter of the Philippines, where every stranger greets you like family. And for some, it's Mexico, warm, colorful, and close enough to touch, yet far enough to start anew. Each of these countries offers something different, yet they all share one promise that a better life doesn't have to cost a fortune. It's not about running away. It's about beginning again. About trading noise for stillness, rush for rhythm, and pressure for peace. About waking up each morning feeling lighter, freer, and more yourself than you've ever been. So tell us, which country would you choose? Comment the number below, and let's see where your dream begins. And don't forget to subscribe to Discover Globe Places Top 10 for more journeys that prove one simple truth: you don't need to be rich to live richly.